Hey Brian, Ricardo, welcome to this Remodeling podcast. Super excited to have you here. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about your story, like how you got started in the business, what kinds of jobs you guys do, and all that?
For sure. We started our business. We got licensed like 8 months ago. I had been working on my own since I was like 17, but I was just doing like handyman work. So here in California, you got to be 25 and have like you either have to be 25 to get your contractor's license, or if you're under 25, you have to have 2 years of journeyman level experience backed by taxes. So since I didn't have, or it's four, yeah. So I didn't have that. So my brother, who worked as a surveyor for a while, and he's always been in construction. My older brother, Ricardo. I told him, I was like, hey, can you get the license so that so we can knock it out. We can start a business together. And then, yeah, we got our license like 8 months ago. And then we started through advertising through Angie, which is what I was using before. But now we started it with like the licensing part. So it's like more expensive leads, bigger leads. So we tried that for about 2 months. We didn't get anything. We spent probably like $3,000 to $4,000 on leads, and we didn't generate like a single job. And then after that, we tried an app called Houzz. So that's like kind of it's $500 a month. And then again, we never got a job through them. And it's sucky because this is kind of how you learn like figuring out the right stuff, because House it's actually a 1 year contract and you can't get out of it at all. So we wanted to cancel with them a long time ago, but it's literally the service is still active. I haven't got a lead through them for like 3 months. So it's $1,500 and not a single lead has been generated. So I've definitely, me and Ricardo, we've wasted a lot of money on advertising, bro. And realistically, it never turned around. I think Angie, I think I had got like one job for something little, but each lead was like $100, $200, $300, and then I'd call people and they weren't interested. So, sure enough, I find you on Instagram, and then I sent it to my brother. I'm like, hey, bro, this looks legit. Let's check it out. My brother's like, I don't know. It seems kind of fishy, like, you know what I mean? And it seems a little too good to be
Yeah.
true. And then I talked to you. I remember before I signed up with you, I was very like skeptical. I wanted to talk to like people that you've worked with and stuff. And yeah, I called your guy, and your guy said it was all good. And then I checked it out, and from when I started Facebook to now through Facebook, I've sold over 500K
From June to now.
yeah, from June to now, we've sold half a mil.
From just June to now. So like, okay, so you started your business like this year, your first 2 months, like thousands of dollars now
Yep.
doing with House with Angie. You're still stuck with House.
Mhm.
And then so June, what is it? Like June, July, August, September, October, 5 months, $500,000.
Yeah.
Wow. So like, what do you feel like was the difference then? Like, what was Angie not working versus the stuff that we were bringing you through Facebook? Like, what was making it click?
So when I'm out bidding jobs for what is Angie, I probably shot about like six estimates through Angie. So the difference is, and it seems simple, but I mean, it's a huge deal for us, is that every time I would talk to people through Angie or House, they were not interested. Like they were like, yeah, I signed up for it. I kind of just wanted to get a quote, which I can work with that. I could still show up and provide a quote, but the people were extremely like not really interested. I feel like when people sign up through their advertising services, it's just people that are like just basically wasting my time. So the switch for me was when I signed up with Facebook, and every time I talk to somebody, they're like, "Yeah, can you come out here as soon as possible? Like, we really want to get started." I'm like, "Oh crap, this is different right here. It's a different ballpark." So yeah, dude, the clientele, the quality of the leads, has just been so much better. Honestly, as a contractor, it's you get taken advantage of so much when you're starting out through like advertising. You get like 100 calls a day, which is what I've gone through: scam calls, spam calls, SEOs, everything. And so many people are there to just take your money. They don't give a shit if you make anything back. Like they don't care. So signing up with you, bro, like it literally changed our life. Like we started our business, we were throwing money in the trash that we didn't have, right? We didn't know starting a business was expensive. So, bro, we're just throwing away money, credit card debt, bro. Like it was getting hella ugly when I met you. And then here you come with your service, bro, and realistically, like completely changed my life. I'm able to like me and my brother were about with this project. We're gonna be debt free completely personally. The company's gonna make, we're gonna profit. So like I said, it's been extremely worth it. Like if I could start all over again, I would 100% pull the trigger on getting started with you guys.
Yeah. So it's not all been sunshine and rainbows, I know though, because anyone who started a business knows how hard it is. So like aside from just like the opportunities, like is there any advice that you would give to somebody who is in the same position as you are? They just started the business or they've never hit $500,000 in 1 year before, and they're trying to focus on bigger jobs because I know that there was a learning curve, right, when you're bidding these bigger projects.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, honestly, I'm gonna take over for a little bit. Like, one thing that Nick's service has actually helped us out in was we got so much lead flow that legitimately you could mess up it, quote unquote, right? And you still have 3 or 4 or 5 or who knows how many more to keep practicing it out. And one thing that I personally liked with Nick is whenever something needed to be tweaked, I messaged him and he got to work on it immediately. Well, I think we changed our scope of work, what, like 5 times, Nick, maybe?
Yeah, because we wanted the obviously the ADUs, like that's where the big money is at.
Yeah,
So you go after that, and you locked one of those down. Then it's like, can we fill in like some smaller projects like kitchens and bathrooms, like on
exactly.
the calendar? So
And then, like, basically every time that we wanted to switch, we switched over. Nick did his magic, and we literally got those kind of leads from then on out until we made an additional change. And basically, it was like that. Like, we learned so much just because of the amount of people that we were talking to. We got our estimate process down. We got like our just communication with the client down, and we did not have the opportunity when we were with all these other services because you would get one lead a week or a month or whatever. You had one chance, and if you blew it, basically we were out of work for the next who knows how long. And with Nick's service, we legitimately were able to. I think we have what, over 80 leads that we've generated so far, right, Nick? Or I forget how much.
I mean,
We've
it's
literally
over
generated
100.
a ridiculous amount.
Like for us though, we don't really care about leads so much because we're not a lead service, right? What's most important is the actual like return, like the jobs themselves.
Mhm.
So when you are bidding these projects out, like, are you guys getting any sort of handyman phone calls, or are you getting like good size? Because like that's most important. Is like, are these jobs actually profitable for you?
No, that's true. So since I'm going out and I'm shooting the bids, like I was saying, dude, like for example, this job that we're on, I showed up, gave them the estimate on the spot, and they signed it on the spot. Like they're like, all right, cool, this is what we wanted. They can, sign the contract. So they signed it on the spot, bro. I was in and out of the house in 2 hours, bro, and you know what I mean? A lockdown, a good one. So that was crazy, dude. And they're like, yeah, we need you to start as soon as possible. Like, dude, I signed the contract and within 2 weeks, because we were still busy with work, but within 2 weeks, they're like, yeah, like as soon as we can get here, like go for it. Here's your deposit. We're excited to work with you. So the leads, man, and the quality of leads is just, yeah, so much better. And 500K for us, for our company, like I've gotten calls from like people that are interested in your service that have called me, and they're like, hey, what do you think? So one of the guys that called me had like 50 employees. So obviously 500K and for the years, could be a lot better because he has a way bigger crew. It's just four of us, bro. So 500K for four people is like, for us, it's really, really good. I've never made that kind of money. Obviously, if I wanted to scale it and add more people, we would just tweak the Facebook and we would just spend a little bit more money on it. But like me personally, dude, with the work that I'm getting, it's so funny how I remember when you told me, you're like, hey, when you sign up with us, like you're gonna need to be like on the phone, like you're gonna need to handle a large amount of leads. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, okay, I've heard that the third time now. Like, okay, buddy. Dude, but my phone starts blowing up calls, bro. People calling me 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, like middle of the night, like the randomest times. I'm like, dude, I really couldn't keep up with leads for like the first month. I didn't know how. I had never experienced having so many leads to the point where I was like actually setting up appointments with people. So the first like month, it was so like not bad, but it was so busy that I was just shooting bids through the phone. I'm like, hey, can you just take a picture and send it to me? I can't even get to you, dude. And they're like, some people were interested, but by the way, don't do that. For sure, do in-person estimates. Um, but yeah, dude, I was like trying to figure out how to handle like good quality leads for the first time, and I could see you smiling because I could tell you're like happy for us. So
No, I
again,
genuinely
I
am. But we
appreciate you,
had
man.
that because it's not just leads, it's also the back and forth because we work with so many guys at that level where they do the 10, $50 million a year and above that we pass off a lot. Because in the beginning, like you were getting these 200, $300,000 opportunities and shooting the bid over the phone. I'm like, and then so how, like once we made that switch to the in-person estimates, things started clicking better for you, right? Like for
Oh yeah.
sure. Because like the
Oh
opportunities
yeah.
were there, you just had to convert them properly.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I had been working on my own for a while, but bro, I was shooting like bids for like $5,000, $10,000. So it was funny because when I signed up with you, I went from shooting bids. Angie was just giving me leads for bathrooms. So I went from shooting like $10,000 bids, and I remember like the first lead I got with you was a full ADU, bro. The lady wanted to build like a 800 square foot ADU, and she wanted to do a home addition. So I'm like working through the numbers, dude. I didn't even know how to do it. It came up to like 300K for that bid. I didn't get that job. I was very close to it, but I'm like, bro, I went from like selling 5K to like 300K in the same month is insane. So I was writing up that estimate, dude. I spent like 2-3 hours on Chat GPT trying to figure it out. But yeah, dude, little by little, and here we are, man. I feel very comfortable shooting bids for like 200-300K, like no problem.
Yeah. Because like that contract that you went in, you signed it in like in a 2 hour time period. How big was that one for?
Honest, the one that we're on right now, 150K.
In 2 hours? Like you got that locked up?
Yep. Yep, the deposit
Uh,
was it's funny because it's like the more you scale, the more issues you have that we didn't know about. So like just depositing checks, dude, has taken so much time. Like it's become so difficult to deposit the checks that we have because even our bank is like, "Are y'all selling drugs? Like, what are y'all doing?" So yeah, dude, it's been a process for sure.
I mean, it's a good problem to have is like not being able to process money because it's like
Hmm.
if you could choose any problem in business, it's probably the one that you want to choose. Um,
Yep, I agree.
so what is like the future kind of hold for you guys? Because you guys, so $500,000 in your first like 7-8 months of business. Now that was just with a crew of 4 people. So going to 2025, like what's in store for you guys?
2025, there's no doubt in my mind we're hitting a million. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. I would like to have, honestly, I want to have a crew of like 8 people. I don't think it needs to be bigger. For me, for the type of lifestyle that I'm trying to live, and my brother too. So the down the line, bro, we're talking like new trucks. We're talking all the right equipment. We're talking, just bigger jobs. So for the most part, I know for a fact, confident that moving forward with your service, I know for sure I'm hitting a million. So yeah, like I said, man, just stack up the money, get a crew. Project manager is a big thing for me now. I want to learn how to manage people and how to, pursue like high quality service, for my homeowners. So definitely scaling the business. It's not even our first year, bro. It's not even our first year. So scaling the business, project management, knowing how to manage the money itself, like just a whole lot of stuff is in store for next year, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, that's really it. So like just to kind of like I want to leave one last thing to anybody who's kind of watching this. Uh, if you really think back to that moment, because when you do sign up for something like this, you are taking kind of a leap of faith. Like most people have never done something like what we offer. So if you just think it was very scary for you, I would imagine, right? So
Yep.
I know you would go back and do it all over again, but is there anything that you would tell someone who's kind of in that position? Like what would you say?
Honestly, honestly, it's again since it's so easy to get taken advantage of, and it is a huge leap of faith, dude. When we signed up for your service, we didn't know if the credit card was gonna go through, bro. So like it's very risky, but looking back on it now, man, it's been extremely worth it. I'd say to somebody that's thinking about it, if you're struggling with like lead flow, if you're struggling with bids, stuff like that, I mean, the money has returned itself tenfold. So, I mean, I'd say do it. I mean, shoot, give me a call if you want to, or you could call my brother, do whatever you got to do. But I'll tell you from experience, like you've done so much for me, and I would love to project that onto whoever's watching, whoever is interested. Like this changed my life seriously. Like we went from like a lot of debt to now paying off our debt to like now figuring our life out and picking a career that we're gonna have for the rest of our lives and be well off. So yeah, man, I'd say definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
There's something
happy.
you want to say?
Yeah. And honestly, if this makes any sense, when I heard about what Nick's was offering, that's basically where I feel like the market is going, in the sense where it's like everything's more digital. Most people don't really care for brick and mortar places. Like, how often do you realistically go in to pay your phone provider in person? Nobody does that anymore. And a lot of the things that Nick does, like the automation behind the stuff, just prevents people from like losing time and losing interest in somebody's service. That's what intrigued me the most, is like somebody's reaching out to you directly instead of going to like a third party, and they want to hear your answer versus an automated message, if that makes any sense. So I genuinely do feel like this is the direction things are going. And if you can be ahead of that, you basically be ahead of that in your area, in your market, and you'd be the only one doing it.
Because told, like, I'm assuming like your friends and guys, you know, who've been probably asking, like, because it happened pretty fast for you guys, the growth of the business. So people are probably been wondering like what's going on. Like they're starting to notice you guys now. But even if you bring them up, like, oh yeah, these jobs are coming in from Instagram, Facebook, and they're like $250,000 each. Like most people are gonna, I mean, they're probably not like even believing you, like half the time.
Exactly. I think it's like I'm a social media star now. You know what I mean? I think I'm selling myself on TikTok and Instagram, and that's not the case. And it's like, it's very interesting, like, because a lot of people are like old school, and that's fine. But if this makes any sense, if you want to be ahead of the curve, you have to do something different than most people are doing in your area. That's literally where I leave it at.
For sure. So yeah, looking forward to it. We'll probably have an update with everybody. Like I want to see where you guys take things in 2025. $1 million a year would be great for like for 2 years of business, you know. So
We're excited, bro. We're excited. First thing I'm doing, bro, literally, first thing I'm doing after this job is I'm getting a new truck, bro. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. So I'll keep in touch with you, obviously, and you know we'll probably touch bases in like a year or something. It's gonna be way different.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks for taking the time.